Okay, they started a new recording. What's the date today? Marzo?
It's April.
April?
April the 5th.
How do you say April in Spanish?
Don't know.
I remember in Puerto Rico making the Spanish flyers and banners. And I can't remember fucking Spanish from that. I think April down there is Aprile,
Something like that, yeah.
And Marzo is Marzo.
Do they have coconuts in Puerto Rico?
It's not their biggest shit, but there are some. But I don't think I don't see anybody eating them.
Yeah, I just wondered. I thought
They got those little limon things.
right. Is coconut a fruit?
I don't know. I think it's a nut,
Oh yeah.
honestly.
Or berries and nuts.
It's a nut. I think it's in the nut family. Then they have avocados. They got big ass avocados
Yeah, I
growing
knew
well.
that.
No, I don't see a lot of bananas down there nor coconuts.
No,
I don't think they're
it's
indigenous.
not their jurisdiction.
Indigenous, I think, would be the fucking term. All right, there's so much. Where's my light or? Oh, maybe
It's all right, you can just use that
Oh, there it is. It's not about using one. It's about I want mine because it's. I feel very insecure without it.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those creature comforts, I guess. Yeah, there's so much to talk about with WrestleMania. Did you watch or pay attention?
I did watch some of WrestleMania. I have Peacock. Do you have Peacock?
Yes. Don't you have to pay for it though?
No, we get it free. Remember?
You get it free. I don't get it free.
But you do have it.
I have Peacock, but I don't have. What's the?
Oh,
cable?
you got to have the premium. To
You
watch
got
the stuff?
Xfinity.
Right.
It comes with Xfinity free.
Right.
I got what the hell do I got? I got Xfinity only
For internet.
for internet.
Gotcha.
So no, I didn't watch, and I'm really stuck, caught up in this Game of Thrones. But go ahead.
Game of
What'd you
Thrones.
watch?
Well, Saturday we had our show, so I didn't see any of Saturday. I caught some bits and pieces of it. I watched Austin work Kevin Owens. That was
Let
fun.
me say this first. That was fucking amazing that we had almost full place here on Saturday during WrestleMania.
Yeah, Full House. It was great.
Yep. Now go ahead.
No, Steve Austin, the main event of Saturday's show was Austin against Kevin Owens.
How'd
It was
Austin
just he looked pretty good. It was just a brawl. I mean,
It's all
Austin
he did anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
the
I'm
last
sure
however
Austin-
many years.
Austin's probably is still banged up, so but it was really entertaining. It was fun.
Yeah.
But they went about 20 minutes.
Wow.
I mean, they just brawled around the arena.
Yeah, but
They-
how did the people respond?
Oh, they went nuts. They went crazy.
Steve was never a fucking high spot guy. He was a guy that would do what was asked of him. And factually, I was in Dallas when the guy broke in.
Hey, he did do quite a bit. I think of course, you never want to get injured, but when he got his most over was after he got hurt and he could do less.
Yeah. He'd do what was asked of him.
Yeah, he did less when he was at his peak. So there
What
you
they
go.
told me walking into the WCCW locker room in the Sportatorium was, oh, you're going to love this kid, Steve Austin. He's your type of guy. Why is that? He'll do anything they ask him to do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He actually got up on top of a cage and took a big bump in that stiff-ass ring. I'm like, wow, fuck's sake, Now, I seen Steve, and I was never big-timing Steve or anything like that, but, he was green, so you don't crawl up his ass. You just introduce yourself and small talk, Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that was his reputation then, and then you seen all the other stuff. He didn't want to do that Hollywood Blondes bullshit. That was horrible. Who could have got that over during that era? But him and Pillman decided they were going to apply themselves and make some money,
Yeah.
And it made a fuck,
I was gonna say they got it over. They
Yeah.
got it as over as they could. It's
But
pretty
they
good.
didn't want to. Like if you knew Steve, it's definitely not his
Right.
what do you like to use that fucking
Forte.
or wheelhouse,
Forte wheelhouse.
Or
But that's a part of the
Pillman.
business. You gotta sometimes
That's a good
make
example.
chicken salad out of chicken shit.
And it's a good example. You don't see that today, Everybody thinks it's so funny to watch the mix. No, there's no mix about it. It's not fair, man. Vince is hiring all these college athletes, man. And like I said before last week, they need somebody to carry these motherfuckers, you idiots. The other thing is they are back to what I said before. They don't want these indie tards. They don't want indie tards. You know the biggest thing they don't want? Indie tards that are marks for themselves. They just shit-canned all of those.
Yeah.
It's a better place, you know? And let me say this about WrestleMania. So AEW fans and AEW, Tony Khan wants Vince to do bad and fail, you know? But I heard that almost 165,000 tickets sold over the 2 days.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. If you buy a ticket to the Saturday, do you get admission to Sunday or vice versa?
I don't know, but I do know that Tony taped last week, and he really had to doctor up his crowd.
I mean, regardless, it was still 78,000 both nights. Whether those are repeats or not, that's still 78,000 people. So, anyway.
Well, you sold the seats. You got to sell the seats Saturday and Sunday, so yeah, you know. You can't just say, no, it's not fair, unless you're an AEW fan that lives in La La Land. You know what I mean? Yeah. If Tony sold tickets to 2 events, they would definitely count them, you know, and inflate them. But, so you saw Owens and Austin. How long did the talk segment go?
Not long, really.
Okay, cool.
I mean, their entrances, and then they probably talked for 5 minutes, and then they got right into it.
Good.
Which was pretty good. It was pretty good. Austin didn't even say anything. He just let Owens run his mouth, and then Austin, accepted his challenge, and they got a referee in there, and they rang the bell.
That's great.
It was just a brawl, and it was good. It was good, though.
Great.
It was. I don't think you could have asked for anything more than what they gave him.
That's great.
And and to credit to Kevin Owens, Austin. I mean, he's older. I mean, he was kind of limited towards the end of his.
He might be a year younger.
Owens flew for him. Owens took a bunch of bumps for him. It was really good. So
we're going to see internet fans are going to be like, "It's not fair. Kevin Owens has to put over an old man." Man, fuck you, man. Why do you think they just re-signed this guy to a fucking big ass contract? Because he'll do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From what I hear or seen, that alone justified the money they spent on him.
And also, I mean, I get that sometimes, but in this situation, you don't need Kevin. Owens is going to just get the rub.
He got it.
He got the rub from
if you saw him last night on Raw, that's
he didn't need to go
really
over. Right.
Yeah.
He didn't need to go over.
No.
And the people want you put it on the end. It's Austin's last match. Of course, Austin.
They don't want to see Kevin Owens go over in that scenario. You know?
And Austin did sell for him too. So I mean, whatever. It is.
It's great. You have to if you go that long.
Good. Yeah, it was good.
What else did you see?
Not like I said, not much from Saturday. I guess I can go back and watch it. Sunday, the main event was Brock and Roman Reigns.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, they kept it really simple.
Okay.
I think because man, I mean, there's a lot of 2 nights of a lot of false finishes and a lot of gaga. I think you do in that situation. Those 2 aren't gonna fucking outwork.
But everybody's so different.
Right. No, it was booked really well. The match. It was booked really well.
Let me see this here. Somebody got shit canned. Pat Buck. Who's Pat Buck?
I think he quit.
Patrick Buckridge. He's a wrestler?
Pat worked at OVW when I was down there. He wasn't a contract talent, but he worked for OVW. He did work the TVs with the contracted, talented guys. Was
he an agent or something?
Not at that time, no. When I worked, he was just...
now. Pat Buck
leaves. He was an agent, yes.
He's an agent or he's a writer?
Agent.
Pat Buck has reportedly quit. Oh, okay.
Right.
Produced some of the top matches. That's a little weird.
Yeah. Now, I don't know.
Writing must have been on the wall because I've never heard of the guy.
Yeah. He was a good worker. Now, like I said, I've been removed from the business. I don't know how long he's been there. Probably 5 to 10 years, not sure.
That's a good run.
But no, Pat's a really good guy.
Gotcha.
He's smart. He's a hustler. Obviously, look, he never made it. He never really made it as a worker. He ended up being one of their top producers. So
it's a lesson to be learned
there. Yeah, he's got to have some hustle there.
So that match was good. How long did it go?
Didn't go long. Maybe 10 to 15.
Smart.
Yeah. I think, like I said, it was booked well because, I mean, dude, they had to follow AJ and Edge, which was good. And actually, the match before that, you'd be surprised, but that Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory was awesome.
No, I've been a nut swinger for him from the first match I saw.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this guy goes out there and practices everything he does. But to be able to do that You can practice everything that you want to, because, you know, I've seen it. You've seen guys that practice every fucking move. Thing is, though, they fuck up as soon as they get in front of a crowd, and this guy doesn't.
Yeah.
He knows how to work a crowd.
Well, also he's working a non-wrestler too in this spot, so I'm sure it was laid out.
Who's he working?
Pat McAfee. He was a NFL football player. Now he has a big podcast.
Who is working McAfee, I'm saying?
Austin Theory.
Oh, I'm talking about McAfee.
You're talking about McAfee, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was an awesome match. He was over.
Theory carried him.
I mean, Pat McAfee might have been the most over baby face on the whole show, behind Austin. Yeah. And you wouldn't believe the athleticism. I'm not surprised.
I would.
Even though he's a punter,
man,
he played soccer before that. You should have saw this.
I saw it.
Theory was he jumped.
The meme's out there.
Oh, really? Yeah. I saw the match. The match was awesome.
Oh, the guy,
I could have probably done with then Vince gets in the ring. You know that.
Yeah, I heard that. I saw his body. He looks good.
He looks
for
good.
An 80-year-old guy.
Here's the thing. I liked everything. Now, Austin ended up running in. But before that, they actually had McAfee put Vince over. Vince went over clean. I think they should have just had Vince getting heat on him and then send Austin out there and let Austin clear. Right. Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not sure where they were going with that, but the whole segment was really good.
That's what counts.
And they got to see Austin twice. They probably thought, well, just Saturday night, and then they got to see him again on Sunday.
Counts.
So they had an edge, and AJ was really good.
I know McAfee's got a podcast that's really fucking listened to.
Yeah,
so that's brilliant too, because that's exposure.
Well, Vince went on it. Vince was on it. Yeah, that's where he
set up the angle.
booked the match. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Social media.
Yep. So I think Rain.
We gotta cut this soon. It's
all
the
right.
teaser.
Well,
what
keep
you're listening to is the teaser.
We're gonna break down more WrestleMania on the Patreon.
On Patreon, yeah. So what he's saying is, I guess we got to say more than just on Patreon. That's what we're doing here for YouTube. We've got great traffic on YouTube, great subscribers. Please like and subscribe and comment. I noticed you guys have been lighting up some comments again. That's great. But the biggest thing is for us to stay in existence, we need you to subscribe to Patreon, where you get the full podcast. And I did notice, and this is a trend on Arts and Entertainment or History, I think it would be History Channel. I was there. People are liking their history from that, because what they do is they take first-hand accounts of the living or first-hand accounts of people that have died that have been involved in pivotal moments in history. So that's basically what we are, is I was there. Casey James, who worked for Vince under contract for 5 years, me, who worked off and on there for 30 years, and I was the last of the full-time crew. I was also the last of the World Class Championship Wrestling crew. So anyway, subscribe. Premier Pro Wrestling, Patreon, Pro Wrestling Tees. We got great shirts. And also, what the hell else do we have?
Hit us up on Insta and Facebook.
We have another revenue stream. Whatever. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Don't forget, we're going to finish this, rundown for WrestleMania on Patreon. Okay, that started a new recording. What's the date today? Marzo?